Yeah, it goes late nights on the road. Yeah, that's just how it goes. Yeah, that's just how it goes these days. I'ma try my best to make this light, but if I don't wake up tomorrow, then the sun will still be. Yeah, it goes late nights on the road. Yeah.
Welcome back to another episode of One Step at a Time with your host, the Ocean Flight 111, heading straight to full potential with Sarah Delays. Hey, how are ya? What you doing? What are you doing, guys? Ha 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 ha. Yeah. Welcome back to another episode. Guys, hope you've been keeping well. Hope you can keep them well. I've been trotting along myself. Gonna get into today's topic, as well as like, you know how I usually do these things. You know, I give like a little update on my last couple of weeks and what's been happening. So today's topic is going to be getting older. Getting older, guys. Aging. What's it all about? What does it entail? What are the details? Yeah, so we're going to be chatting about getting older because it was my B-Day this week. It's my B-Day / B-Day week. If you do the B-Day week, I don't really celebrate the B-Day week. Once upon a time, I used to celebrate the B-Day week, but now I just celebrate my birthday. But yeah, we're going to get into getting older, the celebration of what a birthday is, you know, the reality. The pros, maybe the cons. Is there cons to getting older? Guys, it's a couple. So yeah, we're going to get into all of that, and I'm going to elaborate on some stories. And yeah, it's going to be a good listen, guys. It's going to be a good listen. Anyhow, what have I been up to? So the last 2 weeks, wow. So I went to Hozier. Yeah, shout out Hozier, man. I only knew 2 songs. but it was dope. Basically, give you a bit of a backdrop. I remember when Hozier first came out. I remember it was yesterday. It was 2014. I remember the song popped off, Take Me to Church. I remember hearing a story about how he recorded in his attic or something like that down in Wicklow, and I thought that was a great story. And just watching him blossom and shine into the superstar he is has been a cool thing. Wouldn't say I've been a huge fan of him. As I said, I only knew 2 songs. But from afar, I've always watched in awe and at the artist he is. So yeah, went to Hozier. What was the crack with Hozier? Well, essentially, I thought I was going to be going to Hozier anyways, just to do with some work stuff. So I had it in my mind that I was kind of going to be at Hozier, and then that kind of didn't end up happening. So once I kind of get something in my mind that I'm doing it, especially if it's something cool, I kind of want to go do it. So it was last Thursday. Why is it every time I just start talking a little, my mouth just needs so much water. I got a big 5-liter water here. Yeah. So it was the Thursday evening. And I was like, sitting across from my boy Tyke, and I was like, Tyke, Hozier? And he was like, tomorrow. And I was like, yeah. And I know Tyke's a Hozier fan because he used to always play it's a cherry wine on guitar. So he was down, and I was like, right, I have the partnership, have the partner in crime to do this. Let's go. And guys, especially when it comes to getting a gig, like once I set my mind on something, I'm getting there. So I was like, right, chances are there's still tickets. We just have to be pretty focused, and they weren't that expensive. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. They were still a lot of money. I'm not saying that they weren't expensive, but I was expecting like 100 and something euros. But we ended up getting for, I think 60 and 70, because mine was a gold circle or something, which, don't get me wrong, is a lot of money. But there was like 4 artists, or 3 or 4 artists that performed all together, and it was a beautiful event. So before anyways we go to it, we actually have to get the tickets. So we're scanning Facebook. Man, guys, Facebook Marketplace. If you don't know it, everyone knows it and kind of low-key takes the piss out of Facebook Marketplace. If you don't know it, get to know it. I might tell a story about Facebook Marketplace just because it's worth it at the end, but we won't get too off topic. I'll come back and finish that just as a funny story. I got a good one there for that. But Facebook Marketplace, Ty got his ticket on Instagram, shout out the girl who got it off, and then I got mine on Facebook Marketplace the morning of like 9 o'clock. And then it was funny in the morning, I was doing the whole like, you know, like game show, Martin, you're going to see Hozier. when I got my ticket. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? Okay, maybe it's just me. But I was doing that and I was just like, I was in the shower just singing some Hosier songs. But anyhow, I went to Hosier, had a great time. Shout out Tiffany, one of the open acts. I can't forget it, or I can't remember her second name. Great artist though. Great artist. Had been following her on and off for years, and then just happened to be one of the open acts, and so that was sick. And here's something actually. I had a couple points. Now guys, you know I haven't drank since April, since Croatia, because I've been low-key like taking a break. For those just on audio, I apologize. Why is it that I just got my mouth? I was literally completely fine until I started chatting. But anyhow, Hosier, where was I at there? Hosier, did I lose my train of thought? Yeah, no, Hosier was great. Followed Tiffany for years, on and off. Like, I can't remember her second name, but she performed. That was great. And yeah, drank for the first time since April. And why did I drink? Why did I drink? Well, it's a funny one with the drinking, guys, because sometimes, like, when I take a break from drinking, because I don't really drink as it is, and, you know, if you've listened to the addiction episode, it's not that I have a problem with drinking, but I have a very close relationship and a very unique, not even unique, just a very sensitive, let's say, relationship with alcohol, where I will enjoy from time to time, but also take healthy breaks. And I was just thinking, I was like, I can drink if I want to drink. Like, I don't have a problem with drink. It's like, it's funny how your mind will play tricks on you. And I was like, so I could drink if I wanted to drink. And, you know, it might be fun. So I did drink. Which was good fun. Boy, it was good fun. But something happened that, like, something happened. It was, we just met some people. And my brain went to think of what I would think or say when I'm sober versus being drunk, what I would say. And a kind of bell went off in my head. I was like, man, I'm just not me. I've said it previously, but this just like really hit it home, stamped it down. Like, I'm just not me when I'm drunk. I'm just not me. Like, I don't have a sense of my inner self really when I'm drunk. Like, and you know, sometimes I do have fun when I'm drunk, and I do like just like take the back seat, you know. I'm here for the good time, but I just don't really feel like myself. But that didn't take away from the Hosier what at all. No, Hosier was amazing. I had a great time. Me and Tyke had a phenomenal time, and it was a real beautiful occasion. And I was kind of celebrating my B-day and whatnot, so it's really beautiful. So that was Hosier. With work, we've been taking on more clients and stuff, and also feeling the realities of, you know, building your own business and the pressures that come with that, because there's some incredible moments of camaraderie, some highs, victories, and then there's the pressures of reality of building your own business. And man, damn, definitely felt them pressures. Definitely feeling that some of them pressures, just keeping everything running at a high standard. Like, there's definitely pressures to it. So I've definitely been feeling that, and not let that become mountains on my shoulders, and making sure to be always ahead of everything. So been trying to keep that. And yeah, not too crazy stuff now not too much crazy stuff over the last 2 weeks or so. My life has been fairly quiet. I did go on a lovely jog there yesterday. Oh, guys, it was really something. It was really beautiful. I went just so where I'm living in Lucan City, yeah. Lucan, there, yeah. Lucan just went lovely jog around the place, and I went for a jog anyways, and I went through these fields down this park, and then I found this lovely swing. And I was sitting on the swing listening to Coldplay Paradise, and the sky looked so beautiful. The sky looked so beautiful. Yeah, it really looked amazing, and I was just sitting there, paradise, and I was closing my eyes, opening them up as I was on the swing, looking at the clouds, and it was just so beautiful. It was really, really nice. So yeah, that was a beautiful moment. Currently moving on in search of new houses and a new location. Dun, dun, dun. Where are you going, Martin? Where are you going? Wouldn't you like to know? What's the story in Balamory? Wouldn't you like to know? Yeah, so I've been looking for new houses with that. Certainly an adventure and a challenge, trying to find a new house. Certainly an adventure and a challenge. And yeah, that's kind of been like my dealio. Searching for a new house and trying to get that all together. But yeah, guys, I'm going to get into today's topic. Dun, dun, dun. Today's topic is getting older and what that entails. Wow, getting older. So yeah, I had my birthday during the week, and for all those wondering, all those curious listeners out there, where are you listening today? Are you listening in Leeds, England? Are you listening in Marseille? Are you listening in Connecticut? I don't know. Actually, I do know if I'm looking at the Spotify. I know exactly where people listen. So yeah, I had my 27th B-Day, which is a mad one because it means I'm older now than when Mac would have passed away. Mac passed away at 26. So now I'm 27, which means I'm older than Mac would have been when he passed away, which is definitely weird thinking of that. And that definitely was on my mind a little because I love Mac so much. And what's B-Days like for me, and I guess how I view them is something I want to chat about. I love my birthday. I really do love my birthday, and I want to get into why I love my birthday. First of all, I want to break into something very important. I've always been very blessed to have like my family around me, and I've had sweet childhood memories of my B-Day. Like either it's going to the cinema to watch movies or having parties when I was younger. I was very blessed and fortunate that my parents always thought that was key and something special and something to be cherished. So I have lovely, wholesome memories of going to the cinema, watch Pirates of the Caribbean. There used to be this like indoor gym for kids. It's like adventure obstacles and stuff, and it was called Tumble Jungle. So I used to go to that a lot when we were kids and whatnot. And again, very cherished, sweet memories, wholesome memories that mean a lot to me and whatnot. And as you get older, you think back in these times, and if you have them, you cherish them. And sometimes if you don't have them, you might not care, but also you might wish you had them. So I was always very blessed like that. And I often think that a lot of people didn't have that. And if you're listening right now, you might not have had that. You might not have had like them type of memories. You might have had bad memories when it comes to your birthday, and thus you may not have a good idea or memory attached to your birthday, or may not make you want to celebrate your birthday. And it's not that big of a thing, birthdays. The actual day really isn't what it's really all about. Don't get me wrong, it's very special. But it's the meaning, I guess, of that time. Maybe not necessarily the actual date, but that time, I guess. And what I mean by that is the celebration of victory is how I view my B-Day, if I'm honest with you. So the celebration of victory, and what I mean by that is, you know, if you've listened to, I don't know how many times I've spoken about it now on the podcast, but I know I mention it like I just said it out in the Croatia podcast. I just said it as it is about being suicidal once upon a time and how close that might have been. And where I was in my life, like, damn, I've come a long way, guys. I fucking have. And no one, like, my close friends would know that, but, like, no one knows that really more than myself, like, and damn, like, if you were to see where I was to where I am now, I've come a long way. And I got many messages. I got many messages, which was so great and so grateful for and so beautiful. Really sweet, warm messages, because I remember there 2 years ago, I was living in Sitges and I was having a bad day, guys. I was having a bad day, and I was thinking to myself, man, I push out so much love and I try to promote good message and stuff, and I was just having like a bad day of intrusive thoughts, and I was like, what did it actually do? Like, has it actually done anything for me? It doesn't. In my mind, I was like, it never actually comes back, does it? Because here I am, soaked in sadness and feeling like I just can't get out of this hole. Like, what good is all this love that I pushed out and this positive message and stuff? Has actually done anything? When in reality, it fucking has. It's done so much, so much. But at the time, I was just having such a bad day, man. Anyhow, and then times I have to check myself. I was like, number one, you're always, the moment you choose to spread a good message or choose to be kind to people, you are having an impact. And I guess the most important thing is not seeking a return for your kind behavior or positive message or the love you put out in the world. You know, doing something good and not expecting something in return is a very difficult thing to do. You know, even if you don't say out loud thinking, it's a very difficult thing to do, to just be kind to someone, do something, a nice gesture, be positive, and not expect anything in return. Like, that's the ultimate goal, is to be able to be helpful and beneficial to others and not expect anything in return, because the universe will give it back to you. You don't have to expect anything in return from people. The universe will give it back to you, be it now or later on. So always checking myself and remember that. And then like, man, with the podcast, with this, like, I'd be getting so many nice messages, and it's like, I'd be chatting to people, and sometimes when I'm chatting to someone, I'm very good in my mind at, like, I feel like I know them, but I don't know them. So I'm like breaking away any wall and just getting straight to the person. And sometimes that can be difficult because the person's not able to do that with me. But what I found with the podcast is, because I'm so open and being myself, that the person is so comfortable being themselves now, and like is very transparent with what they're doing in life or what's happening. And man, that's so refreshing. That's a gift, especially when someone's being very honest about their most vulnerable side, or their most deepest, no, I'm not going to say secrets, but their deepest pain. People being very honest with me about their deepest pain and their struggles. That's something I cherish, the ability. But I'm going to bring it back to the B-Day. I was just getting so many nice messages, so many happy birthdays, and so many grateful messages. But one message I got really meant a lot to me. So someone sent me a message, and shout out the dude sent me a message, and it was a lovely message, and it really was a lovely message, a voice note. But right at the end, he said something to me. He was like, man, I'm sure you're getting lots of happy birthdays right now, and even if you're not, then that's okay. Just imagine what you'd write yourself for happy birthday if you were to write yourself a message for happy birthday. For your birthday, should I say. And wow, guys. Damn. I find it difficult to cry. Over the last 2 years, it's been tough for me to cry. I'd say I count on a handful, maybe 3 times, 4 times maybe. But fuck me, that just... Waterworks, hey, how are ya? Yeah, I started bawling. I was like, because I know the message I'd write myself for my birthday. I remember being on the floor in Rathmines, crying my eyes out, not wanting to be here anymore, in so much pain. And yeah, Rathmines, give me a second here. Let me work up to this one. I remember living in Rathmines in 2017 in like kind of basement, kind of gaff house, 1 bedroom, me and my friend. And I remember it was just me in the apartment. Lights were turned off. It was freezing. I was on the floor and I was just bawling my eyes out. Yeah, I was just woo, just in so much pain. And not knowing what to do. Not knowing where to go. Not knowing what to do. And man, damn. You know, so when I think of that, and I think about my birthday, I was like, yeah, fucking damn right, I'll be proud of myself. Damn. And like, that was one time, you know. That happened. That was one of the worst times, but that happened a lot. Like in that period of time, where not being able to foresee a future of happiness, accomplishment, and freedom freedom. And freedom is something I hold very close to my heart, having freedom in my heart of my day-to-day, how I feel, not being controlled by anything. I spoke about the last, about being in a rut, not being controlled, having freedom in my action and my mind. So yeah, when the person sent me that, I was like, damn, that really got me. That really got me. That struck a chord, shall we say. It's a beautiful message. And also, like, thinking of the freedom of even doing this podcast, like music, the memories I've created. I know I spoke about it a little, but it's often feeling like I haven't lived. And I've seen a very good quote. Whenever you feel like you haven't lived, make sure you go into the corners of your mind to retrace the forgotten memories that live. And meaning that, like, all them beautiful memories that, like, you almost shut off, they almost get forgotten about for some reason. It's not that they're not important to you, or they're not special, or that you don't cherish them. You almost, like, forget about them. You're like, whoa, I have lived. That was a great moment. And you kind of, like, have to reel it back a little bit. Like, you're going through the highlight reel of your life, and, like, you've scratched out so many of these wonderful times. And maybe you put more emphasis or more focus on harder times because they seem to stick out, or there seems to be blanks in your memory. And that's why the journaling is so important, that, like, I don't lose the memories, because memories are evidence, you know. Okay, bad memories, they're evidence for some things, but everything is evidence. Like, okay, and the way I kind of use my bad memories as evidence is, like, I'll think back and I was like, right, that's evidence of where I once was. Now, doing my podcast, jogging, doing the business, helping people, that's evidence of how far I've come, you know. And something else I used to do is, so obviously turning older, I don't want to lose track of where we're going, but the progression and a victory, and the reason why it's a victory, it's a celebration, it's because it's another year I'm here, another year of growth, that I'm growing, and that I'm moving in the right direction, and another year of learning about myself, because it's a constant continuing, not battle, journey, road, map, to get to the destination. We're never going to get to the destination of understanding ourselves, why we do different things, you know. Why is it we make certain decisions? Why is it we can't get out of certain habits? And figuring that out and moving forward. Especially with the latest, when I was doing the last therapy that I finished there a couple of weeks ago, figuring out the boundaries, knowing when to set boundaries with people, that's been a big thing. And then, obviously, so that's like the celebrating your victory of growing as a person and your B-Day. And then there's the other side. There's the side of getting older. Well, if you're getting older, what does that entail? In my mind, it definitely entails taking responsibility. I think that's a big thing. I think for me, I have to remain fresh. My heart must remain youthful and full of energy. It must. It's a mandatory decision I've made, that I must remain youthful. And youthful, not where you act wild or anything, but keeping that freshness, you know, feeling young, fresh. You know, I'm going to be 50, 60, whatever years time. And okay, I'm not going to have the energy of a 20-year-old anymore, but I definitely need the freshness of perspective, being open to things, always educating yourself on a new perspective, a new lesson, and just remain the bite for life. Guys, so many people turn 27 and they've lost their bite for life. God help them when they're 50. So if that's something that's happened to you, you feel like you've lost your bite for life, no matter what age you are, I really feel like you have to either return to what makes you happy, things that truly make you happy, or add new fruits, add new adventures, and new hobbies, and new things. Like, just, it's almost like reactivating the brain, reactivating the soul to make sure you have that bite for life. And that's not easy. That's not easy. We're not sitting in an ideal world. Guys, if we were sitting in an ideal world, well, first of all, I'm very blessed in my life. But if we're sitting in the ideal, I'm dyslexic, but I got it right. If we were sitting in the ideal world, where would I be? My music career would probably be in a better place. This podcast would probably have like thousands and thousands of listeners. I would probably be a little more physically strong and probably a lot more financially better off. But to be honest, I'm actually not too far away from any of them if I keep my trajectory. Guys, that's been a lot of work. It hasn't been easy, okay. But yeah, no, in an ideal life, of course, you grab onto it and you're always doing new things, but you also have to live in reality. You know, reality is a beautiful place, but it can be a harsh place. It can be a fucking harsh place. And it's kind of, if you're in a difficult situation where you might not have the financials to start a new hobby, or you might be in a bad place mentally where you don't feel you're able to get out of it to start something new. It's like figuring out what you can do in the position you're in. What is it that's accessible? You know, not everyone has the accessibility to a lot of things. And that's just the hardcore reality of it. But yeah, remaining the bite for life. And I feel like when you keep a bite for life, you're not weighed down by the intrusive thoughts of, oh, I'm getting older now, And let's get into that, because that's important. So I know this girl, right? And lovely girl. Shout out the girl. Lovely girl. But every time I meet her, she would always mention something about getting older. And it was like, it was definitely like an insecurity of getting older, because she'd mention it every time, like under her breath. And I'd be like, I kind of checked her on it. Like, I was like, you're the youngest you could be. Like, it's such a hard thing to do, but like the 40-year-old you, whatever years from now, will give anything to return to the you in present. And it's kind of affirming that and trying to understand how real that is. And yeah, of course, personally, of course, everyone feels it. When you're 17 and you turn 18, you're like, oh, I'm getting older. Shit, things are getting serious. And then same when you're fucking 29 to turn 30, or fucking 45 to 50, or 70 to 80. Everyone feels it. No matter what age you are, everyone feels that little intrusive weight of, oh, I shouldn't be doing this now, or that means I have to take this opportunity now and I have to turn off this side of my life. And of course, there are things you have to be realistic about, but you also go back to the reality check of like, what is your intention in this life, and what is most important to you, and what brings you happiness. And you kind of stay on that trajectory, and your age, you're not allowing your age to dictate so much, I guess. Because even now, I could twist this whole perspective and go, well, I'm 27 now. Yeah, I'm too old to be a rapper. Let me just get rid of that. I'm only 3 years away from being 30. That means my body only has a couple, whatever, years left until I'm... Okay, cool. What else could I be negative about? I'm getting more wrinkles. Oh, shit. I'm getting more wrinkles. Even though I did kind of think about that now and again. There's so many things I could think. I'm like, oh, what else could I think? Oh, I shouldn't be as energetic or bubbly. I'm a bit older now. Maybe I shouldn't be like that anymore. You know, it's time to be, a little bit more relaxed, or a little bit because I'm this age. And a lot of that is just bullshit. It's just complete bullshit. Like, as I said, as you get older, you're taking more responsibility. You're growing. You're maturing as a person. You're not just all of a sudden turning age and turning off things. That's not how it works. You just don't switch a button. You mature. There's things that, like, of course, I'm not going to do now as I've got older that I may have done. Like, I'm not going to be out fucking treating my body how I did when I was 20. because I can't get away with that. Like, you're getting older, you got to make sure you look after your body. That's the reality of getting older. The body you must give it life and give it all the best things you can. But in order to keep it in optimal form, as we were speaking about last time, you got to feed it and give it the right things, the tempo. So, and obviously taking responsibility with family. You know, there is more responsibility I have now than I did when I was 20. But it's taking that by the scruff of its neck, not being scared of it. Knowing that I have this strength, the determination to take care of certain things. And I guess probably a good example of that is when I was, the funeral. I guess because I keep mentioning it, it shows how much of an impact it made on me, because I keep mentioning it, because it's been a consistent thing over this podcast. But when I was at the funeral, my uncle's funeral 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago, I went home with the intention of taking responsibility as a man this time around, and just making sure that, like, the coffin got carried, and if there was anything that needed doing, I didn't mind stepping up to do it. And that was a very conscious decision. And obviously I could have done things a bit better in hindsight, but that was a very conscious decision. Having certain conversations with certain relations and whatnot, and deep conversations that, like, you have to have. And as you get older, gaining that maturity to be able to have them, very deep, meaningful conversations about very sensitive things. And also something I spoke about in therapy. Yeah, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I spoke about something in therapy, and it's a very complex thing that I'll doubt I'll ever speak about on the podcast. And I spoke about it to the therapist, and, like, it was one of the first times that there was ever a person who actually completely understood. So I guess water. Depending how I'm feeling, I'll edit them out. I do have a lot to do this evening. So it might be just a case of he's drinking water, that's going to stay in the podcast. Hey, it's for the natural take. Anyhow, in therapy, a very complex issue. I was doing therapy and a very complex issue, and I was speaking to a therapist, and it was the first time someone understood it because they'd had a similar situation. And I was speaking to the, and it was just, without going into it, it was like making a decision that may cause me more weight, but in that it doesn't cause other people pain. It's kind of a difficult one to maneuver, but I guess what I'm trying to say is when you get older, sometimes you have to take certain weights. You have to, in order for other people not to have that weight. And it's not like it's a nice thing to do, but I think it's, as you get older, you develop certain tools, and we spoke about it. You deserve, yeah, it's a tough one, guys. As you get older, you just learn that sometimes you have to bear the weight of certain situations in order for other people not to get hurt. And you have to take that on the chin and figure out how you're going to deal with it. And it's not easy. It's not easy to deal with certain things, but as you grow up, you have to figure out, and I guess that's part of being a parent, is bearing the weight of certain things so your children don't get hurt. And not that I have children yet, but I've definitely felt that getting older, that I've had to bear certain weights in order for other people not to get hurt, or for other people not to feel pain. And accepting that, learning to accept that and keep it moving. Not neglect this weight you have to carry now, but accept that's just a weight you're going to have to bear. And acceptance, it's like accepting whatever happens in your life is part of your story, you know? Whatever's happened, no matter what age you are, it's part of your story. You can't delete it. As much as I would love to delete certain parts of my story or certain things that may have happened to me, I can't delete them, you know? I wish I could have. If I'd done this, if I did that, if I never went there, well, I did. It happened. Things did happen. And I can't delete it. And what I used to do sometimes too is like, when I used to have bad intrusive thoughts, I used to try put them from like side of my mind, like good thoughts to bad thoughts, like trying to differentiate what they were when it's all one. Like it's all one. And I just happen now to entertain the good thoughts, the positive thoughts, and not entertain the negative ones and whatnot. But so often as you get older, I think you evaluate where you are in life and look at your decisions and get trapped in little sessions or moments of regret, and even bigger moments, and just get trapped, and you're thinking, oh, if I didn't do this, then where would I be now? And you just can't, you can't do it to yourself, guys. It's just torturing yourself. It's torturing yourself, getting trapped in regret, because you don't have the power to fly all the way back in the past, but you do have the power in the current moment to make the next decision that will put your life in the best possible place it can be. You do have that power. And only you have that power. Nobody else has that power. You have the power, though. I seen a good thing too, guys. This guy was telling a story that a parent got his children new quad bikes for their Christmas, and the children ran down. Right, the children ran down to get the quad bikes, and they seen them, and they're like, "Oh, did they have petrol in them?" And the dad was like, "Yeah," and they were like, "Oh, cool." And the father was like, what is with these children? Because he's a very well-to-do man, and he didn't have anything growing up, and now he was in a fortunate position to get his children whatever they wanted for Christmas. Guys, Santa is real. If there's any children listening to this, Santa is real. Anyhow, and the children were like, "Oh, okay, thanks, Dad, I guess." And it made a real impact on him. He thought, right, I'm going to bring these back. Now he didn't, but that's what he was thinking. And he kind of thought, well, imagine God give you another day, another crack at this world. And you just woke up and you went, grand, suppose another day. And it was just a funny story. And it just stuck with me, man. It really stuck with me. It really stuck in me because I was like, I do be feeling like that, you know, when you wake up and like, yeah, it's all good saying life is amazing and all these opportunities, and then you wake up, you have to wake up at 6 a.m. to go to work, or some job you don't want to do, or you feel like shit, or you know, your fucking relationship's breaking up, or family issues, or someone's sick, like, and you're like, how do I grab onto that life? How do I not let years of past trauma or mistakes not weigh on my shoulders? You know? How do you do that? Guys, anyone have the answer there? I'll be damned if I know, you fucking dude. Guys, I have no qualifications. I'm trying to figure out how you do it. I know, I guess you just do it by taking it one step at a time. Well, I guess I try to do it by just reminding myself of what I have. It all goes back to what you have versus you don't have for me. What you have versus what you don't have is something I try to live by. And I was thinking of myself, my birthday, and I was like, I am successful too. What I'm determining my success off. My friends, having friends, great friend group, well, that makes me successful. My body's healthy. That makes me successful. I'm an incredible artist. That makes me successful. I have a beautiful smile and I'm a handsome motherfucker. Even though, guys, my spots have been still playing crazy games. That makes me successful. But you should never maybe judge your success off how you look. Maybe, I don't know. But I have a beautiful family. I have food, water, the roof over my head. You know, so successful. Like, what is success? You know, what is your success? What are you judging your success off? Because if I was judging my success off solely my music career, which I did for years, then I wouldn't be successful. I would have nothing if I just judged myself off that. If that was my thermometer of hotness, if that was my judge of success, measurement of success, if it was just the success of my rap career, then I would have nothing. I would be waking up every day thinking I am nothing. And don't get me wrong, you can use that mentality to get yourself into a better place with your career. Many people have. I know Russ speaks about it like that's what his mentality when he looked back. He wished he didn't do that, but you can do that. That works. It's not healthy, but it has worked for people. But I ain't trying to fucking do that. I'm not trying to celebrate. I'm not trying to look down on myself anymore. I've done that, and it doesn't work. You know, guilt shaming yourself. Well, for me, it was guilt shaming myself to be successful. Hasn't worked, you know. And if we keep it a book, I'd love to see how often it works. Guilt shaming yourself in order to be successful actually works, rather than celebrating small victories, gaining momentum, strategizing, planning, working every day consistently, and being proud of yourself to get to success. You know, I think that's a more approachable, more doable path to your success than guilt shaming yourself into doing it. Because nothing works well off guilt or shame. You know, I had this great line. What's the line? I'll be damned if anyone ever healed himself. Oh yeah, God give me sunshine, deliver me from rain. I'll be damned if anyone healed themselves of shame. I think it is something like that. But yeah, just a couple of things about, you know, celebrating another year. How are we for time there? I'd say we're on like the half an hour mark, are we? Let's have a look. Oh, we're on the 43-minute mark. Not too bad. If I say myself. Anyhow, let's get back on track. So yeah, another year around the globe. Very grateful not to giving up on my dreams at this point. I'm saying that to one of my friends. Many people have given up on their dreams. Feeling fresh. I met up with one of my friends, Abdullah. And I was just chatting to him how, you know, turning older and whatnot, but I feel like I'm who I am. I am the version of myself I'm proud in now that I've got here. I was like, I figured out a few things. I know what to do now. And I guess getting older, the comfortability in your skin, you know, getting older and having the comfortability in your skin, it's an amazing gift. It's something special. It's when you walk into a room, you make other people feel relaxed. You know, when you're relaxed and comfortable about your own insecurities, it makes other people not worry about their securities. It makes them comfortable. It makes them feel welcomed. It makes them feel relaxed. And that's powerful. And that's something I think I've learned to gauge as I've gotten older, you know. Just being okay with some of my weird sides or some things I'm insecure about. Because everyone has insecurities. And learning as time passes to be okay with them insecurities, you know. It is what it is, man. You know, it is what it is. The insecurities. You can work on them and heal some of them. Some of them are just going to be there in the background chilling. And I kind of look at some of them and go, hey, have a good day, insecurity. Have a good day. But yeah, that's something there. Also, something I wanted to mention when I was just talking about having family around me when I was younger. The reason I have so much empathy for people, even since I was young, thinking about birthdays. I remember, right? So I was saying I was very lucky to have so many incredible birthdays growing up. And I remember one B-day though. The mother was getting surgery, and just an eye surgery or whatever. And she was in a hospital at the time. And she didn't get me a card. And I was so sad, man. I was like, oh, man, she doesn't care about me. She didn't get me a card. Now, it's amazing how like every other birthday, but this one birthday then stands out to you. Like you just focus on it. But I remember how it felt. And it's not a big thing like going back, like I'm mad at her or anything. It was, she was in the hospital, like, but I remember how it felt. I remember for a split second that my mother didn't care about me. My brain went, my mother doesn't care about me. And that's obviously not true. But as a young kid, for a split second, I was like, my mama don't care about me. And I only ever felt that for a split second. So I can imagine what it's like for someone who's never had a good relationship with their family or their mother or father, who never had that growing up. Imagine if that split second of how I felt was someone's everyday life. Wow. Yeah, imagine in that moment where you didn't feel loved, but that's someone's everyday life. That's something crazy. That's something mad. Yeah, that's something mad. I love you guys. If you're listening to this and you feel like no one loves you, I love you. Appreciate you listening. Rooting for you. Love you, though. Hey, love you, though. Rooting for you. Yeah, shout out anyone there. I said it on my story, but if you're listening to this, you're going through something, I'm rooting for you. Come on now. I'm rooting for you. You can get through it. You got this. Hey, some memories to be made. You got some work to do. Pull up them socks and get to it. Come on now. Come on. So yeah, that's just something about, I always had that empathy for maybe people who didn't have that love when they were younger. And not knowing who that is, you know. You never know when you meet somebody. Number one, what they're juggling. Number two, what's happened to them. Or number three, what they're thinking and how they're feeling. You just don't know, you know. You try to gauge when you meet somebody who you're meeting, at what period in their life they are going at. Sorry, who you're meeting and at what period of their life they're at. But you're only making it up. You can only read someone so much. So it's always having that awareness and empathy maybe to the person's situation or the bigger picture of what may be happening in their life. And man, I won't speak about this too much, but I just met a person, man, and damn, the person's juggling a lot. Like, yeah, just juggling a lot. And the way that they're able to still remain calm and grab onto life is fairly inspirational. Like, very, very inspirational. And yeah, wow. So yeah, that's some stories there, guys, and my thoughts on growing older and aging and guess whatnot, and maturity and the experience. And I suppose I put up something on my story. I was like, nah, I'm 27 now, so if I could say anything to maybe if I was to say anything to the 7-year-old me, I would probably tell him that you become a rapper. Because he'd love that. No, I'd tell him that you make a lot of your dreams come true. So that's probably one thing I would tell my 7-year-old self. If I was to tell my 17-year-old self something, what would I tell my 17-year-old self? I would probably tell him, you're in for a roller coaster, but you learn to enjoy the highs and the lows. Yeah, maybe enjoy the highs and the lows. You're in for a roller coaster, but you figure a way out to maneuver the highs and the lows. I think that's be some good advice, because that 17-year-old about to go into a fucking lot of lows. Oh my God. He about to go into the lows. Shut up, Mike, man. That's 17-year-old me doesn't know what's about to fucking hit him. Even it's a funny one thinking like that too, thinking of like if there was alternate realities and you're still at that period of your life in another alternate reality. And if I was to watch it, the way I would explain is watching the 17-year-old me being like a PG funny movie, cartoon almost, and about to go into a fucking horror movie. I was like, oh boy, here you go. That's the transition. That's a good way to transition it. Going from a PG cartoon to a fucking horror. Psychological horror. Not a gruesome horror. Psychological horror. But yeah, guys, I'm going to leave you and love you there. Oh, the story about the Facebook Marketplace real quick. I think I'm going to need some edit on this because I bet a couple more selection. The Facebook Marketplace story. Real quick. Facebook Marketplace. We were living in Spain and had a keyboard. And I said to the lads, like, oh, I'd get rid of it. And they're like, oh, because we couldn't bring it home with us. And they're like, you will, yeah. And I'm telling you, lads, I'll get it sold. Anyways, long story short, put it up on Facebook Marketplace. 2 days later, got this message from Leonardo, is his name, Spanish. He was like super enthusiastic about buying it. I was like, yeah, man, whatever amount of money, come whenever. And he was so excited. He was like, oh, Martin, I don't get paid till Friday. Is that okay if I come Friday? And I was like, yeah, Leonardo, I'll have it there waiting for you. He was like, will you keep it for me, please? This is something I'm very excited about. It was in Spanish and I was using Google Translate. So I was hitting him back on Google Translate. I was like, yeah, Leonardo, it's not going anywhere. I'll be here for you. Man, the most wholesome experience. He turns up anyways. He is bursting with energy. He's like, Martin, so excited. That was an Italian accent. And he's buzzing. We were living in hospital in Barcelona, sorry, should I say at the time, in Spain. And so we go up the elevator anyways, and he's bursting with energy. He's so excited. He's pretty small. He's probably in his early 40s. He's pretty small. He's like 5'6", 7", and he's bursting with energy. So anyways, I bring him into the apartment, and I'm like, there it is, Leonardo, because he speaks barely in English, and my Spanish is non-existent. And I'm like, and he's playing it, and he's giggling, and he's just bopping up and down, and he's just so excited. And I'm like, yeah, there you go, man. And and he takes out his money anyways, and he counts, and he's like, there you go, full payment. And I was like, oh, thanks, man. I was like, I'll give you a hand to carry it down. He's like, no, I carry. So he picks up this keyboard anyways, and the keyboard's not light. And he picks it up, and the fucking keyboard's almost falling every 2 seconds as we get into the fucking elevator. I'm like, oh my God, Leonardo, will you let me just help you hold it for God's sake? Anyways, we get down to the ground floor, and I walk him out anyways, and he's still holding this keyboard, and it looks like it could fall at any given second. And I'm like, I've kind of gained attachment now to Leonardo because he's so bubbly about this keyboard that like I'd feel so bad if he just dropped it and broke it. Anyways, he's holding on to it, and it's like dear life, like it was a fucking most important thing in the world. And we get to the truck, and he had a friend, and his friend gets out the truck, and his friend's as excited as he is about this keyboard. Anyways, his friend opens out the back of the truck, and they're just buzzing with his keyboard anyways, and they put it in the back, and I was like, right, Leonardo, bye-bye. And it was just the most wholesome experience ever. It was just so wholesome. So shout out Leonardo. I hope that keyboard serves you well. Yeah, funny story. But anyways, guys, that's the end of that. Wow, we spoke a lot on this podcast. Jeez, this was a biggie, wasn't it? A lot on this one. Yeah, damn, I went into some mad things. Yeah, wow. Yeah, I didn't know I was going to go so deep on this one. Guys, you know how it goes. If you know someone that enjoyed this podcast, please send it on to them. If you can give it a share, you know, it really means a lot. If you haven't given the 5 stars on Spotify, please give it 5 stars. If you haven't subscribed on YouTube, you know to give it that subscription. And yeah, if there's anyone who you think this would benefit, please share it out in the world and, you know, spread the good message. And yeah, no matter what age you are when you're listening to this, be it you're 18, 10, 70, 40, like, everything you want in life, no matter what age, it sits there. It sits there in different forms. Sometimes you get older, it changes shape, you know? It changes color, it changes shape, your perception of it changes. But never let age stop you. Never let that put an obstacle. Someone's going to twist this shit. Never let it stop you, your dreams, you know? Yeah. Guys, I've been your host, the Ocean Flight 111, heading straight to full potential with Sarah Delays. And guys, don't have a good day. Have a great day. God bless. Go on. Get out of here, you silly rascal. Love you lots. Bye-bye.
Yeah, it goes late nights on the road. Yeah, that's just how it goes. Yeah, that's just how it goes these days. I'ma try my best to make this light, but if I don't wake up tomorrow, then the sun will still be. Yeah, it goes late nights on the road.